This channel might actually start growing if I update it once in a while. Happy New Year. I just wanted to say something really quickly to get myself back in the game here. I joined a group on Facebook recently for Lose It, people who use the Lose It app. And somebody posted there, like, what would you say to somebody who's just starting to use Lose It? What would you say to them to better ensure their success? And the thing I immediately came to mind was moderation, not restriction. Because a lot of people, I think, have the completely wrong idea about how weight loss should ideally work. If you embark on an extremely intense and involved workout routine where you're killing yourself every day, like you see on the stupid show, Biggest Loser, yeah, you're probably going to lose some weight. But that's not maintainable. I think it's the absolute worst idea for anybody to lose weight based on something like that, especially if it's something that's completely new to them. Because you may see some success in the short term, but in the long term, do you really want to live the rest of your life doing, exercises like that every single day? And I'm not down on exercise. Exercise is great. It's essential even. I would say get as much exercise as you possibly can stand on a daily basis. Definitely do it, but don't expect that to be the lifestyle change that's going to make all the difference in the world. Sometimes it can for some people, but it's rare. The other thing is crazy diet changes and restrictions where you say, well, I'm never going to eat carbs again, and I'm going to cut out sugar and never have junk food ever again. And it's just extremely unrealistic. And this is what I've learned doing this, is that it doesn't serve you well to just cut something out of your diet because you think it's bad. You just need to find ways to moderate all those different types of foods, the good ones and the bad ones. It's different for everybody. But the Lose It app I found to be a very useful tool in learning the art of moderation. There's still some things that I just have to do to keep a handle on things. I am a lifelong binge eater, so there's certain foods I just cannot keep at home in large quantities, like chips, cereal, any kind of breakfast cereal, any kind of bread. That took me a long time to finally come to terms with it. I can't do it. Little spurts, I just, as a regular part of my diet, not a good idea for me. Doesn't mean I never eat bread. Doesn't mean I never eat chips. Doesn't mean I never eat junk food. Doesn't mean I never have sugary desserts and things like that. I do. It's just not something that I do all the time. I think some people may have bigger hurdles ahead of them in their journey towards moderation than some others. I mean, if you are a sugar addict and sugar, cookies and cakes and ice cream and things like that are a regular part of your daily experience, you're probably going to have to cut back a bit on that stuff there. And that may be the most challenging thing that you face, or at least one of the most challenging things that you face. I've gone through periods where I just wasn't eating any added sugar at all. Nothing, no junk food, no sweets. Anything that had any added sugar to it, I was avoiding for the longest time. And I do think that's a helpful exercise to do, just to kind of get your brain used to not having it all the time, because I've found that I don't really crave those things anymore the way that I used to. Although, I just remembered I have this here. This is convenient because I haven't eaten this yet, which is rare. Having things like this is a Cliff Builders bar. That's upside down. This is a Cliff Builders bar. It's an energy bar, right? It's really kind of like an elaborate candy bar, because it has almost just as many calories as a Snickers bar, for example, but it has way more protein, and it's fortified with all kinds of other good stuff. Eating things like this really helps me kind of stay on target. So this allows me to have basically a treat every day, because there's sugar in this. But I just don't binge on them. I would if I bought more than one at once. Guess what? They're all going in here. Usually pretty quickly, so I try to avoid doing that. I can't buy a whole box of them. If you're a binge eater, I I highly recommend you don't do that. Just buy one at a time. But these things are awesome because they, if you're a Girl Scout cookie fan, Thin Mints, you know what I'm talking about? Trust me, these things are awesome, and they've made my life a whole lot nicer, a whole lot easier. So anyway, I didn't come on here this wasn't my intention today to plug Cliff Bars, but that's one of my vices, and I have found a way to have things like that daily. Actually, I have these pretty much every day, one or two, usually just one, but there's a big difference between having this every now and then and binging, okay? And that's what you really need to watch out for. Long story short, the moral of the story is don't base your success on extreme measures, because chances are you're just not going to be able to keep it up unless you're really serious about living the life of a career athlete, or, you know, a weightlifter, or a bodybuilder, and those types of people, cyclists, people who marathon runners and stuff, people who are just, that is their life, that they train every single day. But even those people don't just eat whatever they want. You know, I promise you, they have to watch their diet too. And they'd be giving you the same advice that I'm giving you, which is moderate, don't restrict. Trust me, it's the best way to go, and it's the best way to approach this, and the best way to ensure not just your long-term success, but your lifelong success. Okay? So join me. We're gonna do it. Let's go. 2020, baby. By the way, one more thing. Does any other Apple Watch users out there keep having their watch do this over and over again? How do you make it stop? Help me.